Yeah.
If this existed, we'd sign our kids up
In a heartbeat.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah. See? There he goes.
Oh. What did it just do? It just gave up?
Yeah. It's just like, no. Hey, what's up, vlog? It's been a minute. Just wanted to send you or record a quick update here. First of all, this is weird because I'm using the Samsung S8 and I don't know where to look, but anyways, we've been grinding hard here at Sightbox the last couple of weeks, last few weeks actually, with this whole pivot. If you go back a couple of blogs or vlogs, you'll see that we've sort of taken this new approach at Sightbox, working with startups. We launched a new website. We've gone all in on it. It's been good. It's been fun, a little challenging. So just wanted to get back on here and start recording some content. That's the update. We're gonna be in Redondo Beach today. Nathan's back from Texas, so that's what we'll be doing. And shout out to El Paso. Really sucks what happened there. That's my hometown. That's where Nate and I are from. He was actually there when the whole shooting happened, so our hearts go out to those families, the victims and stuff. So and we got a little something coming for them too, so we'll share that on all our social platforms. So for now, I'm out. I'll see you when I get to Redondo Beach. If you're a videographer in LA, Orange County, hit us up. We're looking for someone to help us keep this thing going. Peace. So look who's back.
Hey. Yep, I'm here. At long last.
How was Texas?
It's good, dude. Hot?
Hot?
Yeah, but we sat by the pool most of it, so. It's all
And
good.
we got a little side project for the El Paso thing, right?
Yeah, well, I was there during the whole shooting, so we've got a little poster and some shirts that we're gonna be putting out there for charity. So yeah.
So we'll put a link down here for that. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier in the opening part of the video, Nate and I actually grew up in El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our hometown. Our families are there.
Yeah.
So it could have been anybody we know.
Yeah.
Could have been a friend or family member that.
Yeah, it was close to home, man.
Way close.
And that was our part of town too, the east side of El Paso. That's where we grew up. So.
That was our mall.
Yeah, dude. That Sam's Club. That's where we get our gas all the time. So.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Super crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll show you guys what's up there. But what's going on today? We got a
few things. We're gonna meet with one of our startups. We're gonna be doing some stuff here about our content marketing strategy, I think, later, and then business development. And,
yeah, there's nothing like a fresh,
look at how clean that is.
Clean board.
Like that little baby newborn marker board.
There it is.
Waiting. It's sort of like, here are how-tos. How to start to do a successful startup. Like, let me find one. The step-by-step process of launching an apparel company. Turning tech that's ahead of its time into a company with a long tail. There's stuff in here that just makes me a little uncomfortable because we'd have to like do a crap ton of homework on each of these topics. And I guess, I don't know, I look at this and I'm like, what's something that we can do that comes naturally, that's also interesting, right? Like that's, to me, the mix. Like, if we have to sit and plan it out, we're not going to be consistent with it, you know? I mean, how do we get something like our box lunch and turn that into something that founders would listen to, you know? That level of effort. Not maybe I'm just trying to, maybe that's not the right challenge. Maybe we gotta say, no, we have to actually do something that requires a lot of work and preparation to actually make something of value. But I mean, I look at this is why I think interviews and stuff like that are so common, is that you don't have to do a lot of prep. It's just a Q&A. Let me ask you about this. What do you think of this? What are your thoughts on that? And then they say it, right? And then you ask another question. So even for like Jason Calacanis, he's if you listen to some of his shows, like he hasn't met these people. He hasn't looked at their startup. He's never even heard of these guys, but they're on his show, you know, or maybe he's heard of it, but he hasn't done any homework, right? So he's like, take me through it. And they'll ask the dumb questions. They'll ask like, how do you even get customers? Or how is this even viable? Or, you know, he'll ask these sort of like basic questions that you're like, of course, if he had gone to the website, he would have sort of answered a lot of these things or had done his homework. But he doesn't, and he just sort of wings it on the show. Now, granted, he's about 1,000 shows in, so he knows what he's doing. But it's sort of a good format to have interviews. But I guess the question is like, what's our angle? And we've had this issue already too with our buddy, and him being like, you know, a little shy about it. And I think our hunch is right. I think if we were going to really go after it, going and interview founders, like the GrowFounders would be probably the right banner to do that under, on some level, because I guess because we're trying to do it as an agency, right? And that's a different thing. Like if it were you or I as people, if it was, you know, the Charlie Hanahosa show, yeah, then it's anybody, you know. Well, because and then even like even This Week in Startups, like again, it's not the launch podcast. It's This Week in Startups, and it's sort of what's the word? Agnostic. It's not dependent on him and whether or not they've done work together. Which is sort of our GrowFounders. Like GrowFounders is kind of like, dude, we don't have to have any relationship to you whatsoever. It's sort of by and for the community. It's not. There's the benefit of being associated with Sightbox, but it's not it's not contingent upon doing business with us. All right. So here's what I think. Let's just write some down. I'm just gonna write down formats because I think that's where we need to talk. Because I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but I don't want to get stuck in it either. So there's, you know, interview. There's the interview format. I'm just gonna write formats. There's the interview. There's so there's this one. There's another one where there's the how-to. I saw a lot of those. It's just sort of like, here's some good advice around a topic. And then there's just sort of the chit chat, which is almost like, that's kind of what we're doing with Box Lunch, is it's just sort of like, it's the same people every time. And it's almost like you could have like a crew. Like there's that one called Adventures in Design, and which is ironic. It's done here in LA. I think he's in Long Beach. But this guy gets out there. He's a designer, but he's an illustrator, and he's got like 3 or 4 buddies, and they just hang out at his shop like once a week and just talk, and they talk about different things. really, totally unscripted. And is there any value in listening to it? Sometimes not. Sometimes I'll just ramble on about dumb stuff. Okay. What else is there? Well, then there's like sort of the vlog, the documentary, where it's like a third party, you're just sort of a fly on the wall, fly on the wall.
Yeah, and the box lunch historically has been audio.
Yeah.
It's just been like straight up podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, do it on the spare of the moment. You just, just bang it out.
No prep.
Not zero prep. Yeah, I mean, the truth is, everything on our channel now is probably not that focused on this founder right now, on founders.
No.
At all. It's mostly been to scratch our own itch or to just document, which is part of what we want to do as an agency is document.
Put ourselves out there a little bit.
Kind of see what sticks too.
Yeah.
Word Up is interesting, but it's very general and very broad.
Yeah. That's like business and faith or something.
Yeah. So I think, definitely what's missing is sort of this founder focus, whether it's done long or short.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm writing here, founder plus blank or startup. But this is probably what we should be thinking of a little bit. Because the truth is, and I'm not trying to be sort of like different for difference sake, but how do I put this? Like, I want what we talk about to be something that you and I want to talk about versus, hey, we're just going to talk about, we're going to talk to founders about whatever. Have a founder on, start shooting the shit. Like, I don't think that is going to be that interesting. And I've heard shows like that a little bit, and it's just sort of like, you can tell the guy hasn't really done his research, and I don't know how good we are as interviewers that way. That could be kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So.
Hell, man, we could do Zoom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, get some. If I'm just trying to think here, not a webinar, but I'm thinking like we're gonna get like 4 founders on the Zoom, and talk about. That's what we got to figure out, right? What's going to be meaningful then, as a piece of content.
Yeah, what's worth tuning in for, And that's the thing, like interviews, this is the truth, most of them work off of what's called borrowed interest, right? You're there to, it's the person being interviewed that carries.
All right, we're back after some technical difficulties with the gimbal here. Hopefully you could still hear some of what we were talking about. So we got a new show, I think, right? New show idea?
Yeah.
For Sightbox TV.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's called the Startup Countdown.
Well, then I'll cue it up.
And so, dig it in. Dig it in. The Startup Countdown.
Dude, we just go on Fiverr. We'll have someone do it, right?
Totally, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, what is the startup?
So the startup countdown, the idea is we are going to create a new startup in 60 minutes. So either one that we just sort of do at random, or basically take some. There it is. Or we take viewer suggestions, or even people who have a startup that they want some new ideas around or something like that. We'll have them even jump on the show, and we'll work together on sort of flipping it. And so that's the idea. Startup countdown.
Love it.
Truth is, this is what Charlie and I do anyway. So I might as well record it and get it on the show. Oh, I got out of focus. There we go.
Man, we're two pros, I promise you.
We're professionals.
We are.
The Samsung, there you go.
There it is.
So startup countdown, we're going to give that a shot. And in a process too, we kind of came back to an idea that we had talked about, honestly, it was probably a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just sort of randomly talking about the lack of entrepreneurial training that's out there, and how there's not really a school to teach you how to be a founder. You know, you can get an MBA in entrepreneurship, but anyway, we'll talk about that.
But it's not required.
No, it's certainly not
by the
required.
Employer.
No, and it's just there's a whole bunch of issues with some of those entrepreneurial MBA degrees, but we had this idea early on of basically an after-school program for kids to basically learn how to be a startup founder, an entrepreneur.
And the idea started kind of big, right? Lofty. We were like, man, I could see us running this, starting a school in 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Something, a path, right? So it's like not college, but something else. And then it quickly became something like we were just riffing, and then the idea of a startup accelerator for kids sort of popped in.
Yeah.
And we started just whiteboarding some ideas there, and we figured, what the heck? Let's do an accelerator for kids. I mean, who wouldn't? What entrepreneur, even if it's not an entrepreneur, if you have a kid that, maybe you're kind of self-aware that they have maybe that bug or that skill, that they could be, potentially someone who's very creative, or someone who, hell, even if they don't become entrepreneurs, the lessons learned, right, in an accelerator, launching a business, launching a product, they're huge. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're a kid, right? So we figured, let's sign up a bunch of kids, and we'll do a demo day and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Make it like a 6-week program.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like, exactly. I mean, think of like the demo day as sort of like your recital, at the end of it. And then you have, different startups that they're working on, either as a class or individually.
Yep.
And it's an after-school program. I mean, there's already a lot of these coding schools that you can do after school, learn how to code. So sort of that next level up, which is, or maybe just different, and saying, maybe your kid's not into the coding thing, but they got a lot of great ideas. Let's turn them into sort of business ideas and startups, and sort of build it from there. So that's what we're playing with. We're gonna.
What are we calling it?
Calling it the GrowFounders. GrowFounders.
So we have the GoFounders, obviously, from our meetups, which we always envision, evolving into something bigger also. But the GrowFounders just takes it to a whole another dimension.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about how exciting it would be to see, a 10-year-old come through our program, and then 10 years later actually be a founder of something. Right?
Something, right? Well, and we both have kids, and
Sure.
This is something we would love to see our kids in. If this existed, we'd sign our kids up.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
See? There he goes.
Oh, what did it just do? It just gave up?
Yeah. It's just like, no.
That's messed up. I wonder why.
Sorry, guys. I think we're back. I think we figured this thing out.
Jump cut.
Yeah, jump cut. So check that out. The GrowFounders. We're mean, it's a brand new idea, so it'll take us a little while to develop it. But
Yeah, let us know what you think.
we just want to put it out in the record to, to look back at someday.
Yeah.
When we actually do it. So it's exciting. That's pretty much it. What else is going on? Let's show them some of the El Paso thing since we mentioned it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe show you guys what we're gonna put out there.
That's right.
Little inspiration, little design for the shop.
El Paso strong.
El Paso strong, and then we'll donate the proceeds. So